For over 60 years, one animatronic family in Tomorrowland has been making a promise that there's a great big beautiful tomorrow shining at the end of every day. Forever stuck in the past while singing about the future. But I think it's time to grab a comfy air-conditioned seat inside the Carousel Theater, because today we're talking about the Carousel of Progress and the most optimistic song I've ever heard. There's a great big beautiful tomorrow. Hey party people, I'm Chris Waffle and welcome to Area Loop, where we look at the songs that make the rides and the music that makes the parks. Picture this, the 1964 New York World's Fair. Walt and his Imagineers built 4 major attractions for that fair, and we've talked about one of them already. It's a Small World, over at the Pepsi UNICEF Pavilion, just down the way. General Electric had their own pavilion called Progress Land, and the headline attraction inside was a show about the story of progress itself, told through one family's home life, decade by decade. But instead of building 4 separate stages and walking guests from room to room, Imagineers Roger Broggie and Bob Gurr devised something new.
A show where the audience revolves around the stage.
6 wedge-shaped stages arranged around a central hub with the audience seated on the outside of the ring. The whole seating structure rotates around the stages instead of the other way around, so you sit down once and the room itself carries you from 1900 to the present or the future or whatever, and then it dumps you back to the load area. No exiting through the gift shop. The show has a host character, originally conceived as someone named Wilbur K. Watt. Yes. Before that idea got dropped in favor of just calling him Father. Is that an improvement? I don't know, but singing cowboy and longtime Disney narrator Rex Allen was brought in to voice him. Rex L.V. Allen Sr., a.k.a. the Arizona Cowboy. He was an American film and television actor, singer, and songwriter, and he was the narrator of many Disney nature and Western productions.
I'm not going to sing for you tonight. Instead, I'm going to turn the microphone over to none other than Rex Allen.
Thank you, Mr. Benton. Tonight, folks, I'd like to sing a real old-timer. It's called Strawberry Roan. Let me tell you a tale, and a good one I own, of a bucking old bronco, a strawberry roan. I was hanging around town, not earning a dime, out of a job, just spending my time.
And by his own account, he had no idea what he was actually signing up for when he took the job. Someone get this guy a better agent. The pavilion was a hit at the fair, and when the fair closed, the attraction packed up and moved west, opening at Disneyland in July of 1967, just months after Walt's death. And it stayed there until 1973, when it was then pulled to make room for the far superior and classically underrated America Sings. We'll be talking about that in a future episode. And it was shipped east into a new custom-built theater in the Magic Kingdom's Tomorrowland, opening in January of 1975. And it's been there ever since. There's been some script updates, there's been some changes, most notably a 1994 overhaul that changed the finale's tone to the near future according to the 1990s. And it's regularly cited by attraction historians, including myself, as the longest running stage show in the history of American theater. Right, Uncle Orville?
No privacy at all around this place.
Sorry, Orville.
Which brings us to the thing that puts it all together into one perfect, delicious progress stew. The song. So the composers. Once again, it's Bob and Dick Sherman, Walt's in-house songwriting team. The same guys behind It's a Small World, Mary Poppins, The Enchanted Tiki Room, all of that. I've talked about it and I'll be talking about it again. When Walt was putting the Carousel of Progress together for the World's Fair, he asked the Shermans for something that could bridge the show's different acts together musically, similarly to what they had done for Small World. He explained that the show was about the story of an American family and the extraordinary difference electricity and technology had made to their ordinary lives.
Well, it sounds pretty good. In fact, that's just the right spirit.
Party people, did you know that There's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow is not the only theme song this ride has ever had? When the Carousel of Progress made the move from Disneyland to Walt Disney World in the mid-70s, General Electric, still sponsoring the ride at the time, wanted something a little less someday and a little more right now. So the Shermans wrote a second song called The Best Time of Your Life, and that song stuck around through GE's sponsorship all the way through the 1994 redo, when Walt Disney World brought the original song back as a tribute during their broader Tomorrowland overhaul. And apparently there was almost a third song. In 1982, GE commissioned yet another new theme from Bob and Dick called New Horizons, but GE passed on that, and then their CEO wrote a new song for it. This is getting nuts. I'm going to have to do a whole different episode on all that. But the important thing for now is that we always come back to the classic song, which was Walt's favorite. But that's been the pattern with this whole attraction so far. GE tries something new, time passes, the original comes back. Structurally, There's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow is a song written for a corporate pavilion in the 1960s, selling the idea that the right appliances make life better. And I suppose they do. I love my air fryer. I love my Keurig. I love my bidet. I use my bidet a lot, probably the most of any of my appliances. Anyway, this song is about as lean as a Disney ride song gets. I keep calling it a song, but really it's more of a jingle, which I guess makes sense. It's kind of a just jingle for GE.
For tomorrow, shining at the end of every day.
You know, before GE, we bring good things to life. Anyway, it's a jingle or whatever, but it goes like chorus, verse, chorus. There's no bridge. And in its original 1964 version, it's barely like 90 seconds long. So it's very jingly. So researching this online, I found a couple of different transcriptions of the music for this, and some of them seemed a little wonky to me. I feel like this is the way that it was supposed to be played. So starting with like a D7, and then just kind of going to G. So like, there's a great big beautiful tomorrow, G. Then back to D7, shining at the end of every day, back to G. There's a great big beautiful and then E minor, tomorrow, and then A7, tomorrow is just a dream away. And then we end back at the D7. And then it goes to the verse, which is kind of like a G7C back and forth. So back to G7, man has a dream, and that's the start. Back to G7, he follows that dream with C, mind and heart. Then B, and when it becomes a re, back to the E minor, reality. Yeah. And when it becomes a reality, there's a dream come true. And then A7 again. For you and me, it's and then back again. It's a great big beautiful tomorrow, shining at the end of every day. It's a big beautiful tomorrow, just a dream away. That's it. Let's try that again. So it, again, starting off at a D7. There's a great big back to D7, shining at the end of every day. You know, and it's like the bump, 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 bump. There's back to D7, great, big, beautiful. Then it goes to E minor, tomorrow, and to A, and A7. And tomorrow is just a dream away. Then we've got G7, man has a dream. To C, that's the start. Back to G7, he follows the dream with C, mind and heart. Then B7, and when it becomes a E minor reality, it's a A7, dream come true for you and me. It just kind of repeats that as you as father sings it, and it goes from scene to scene. Very jingly. Like you could see this in kind of in snippets, like in a commercial, or at the time back when they had TV shows, and like the stars of the TV shows would also do the commercials for like cigarettes and stuff.
Just call for Philip Morris, king size or regular. Buy him by the carton. You're gonna love him, and we're gonna love you. Hey, what was that for?
You said it so beautifully.
Good night, everybody.
See you next week.
So the Shermans wrote something that could be chopped up, restated, faded in and out, and still feel complete every time you caught a piece of it. And having no bridge means that there's no middle section that you would be missing if the theater started rotating mid-verse or something. It's built to be interruptible. Musically, it does lean into the Sherman Brothers' early 60s signature brass-forward, marching band adjacent style, the real step right up energy, which fits the General Electric, gee whiz, look what tomorrow holds sales pitch of the whole attraction. When the Carousel of Progress got its 1994 refurbishment and this song came back, it was re-recorded with the new voice cast. So Gene Shepard took over the speaking role of the father, while the singer was Jess Harnell, and they provided the sung vocal. And that's the version most people familiar with the attraction today have actually been hearing. Not the original 1964 Rex Allen original, but this like 90s re-recording of the song. I couldn't find if the music was all re-recorded or if it was just the vocals. If anyone out there knows, let me know in the comment below. I would love to find out. Now let's talk about those lyrics. There's a great big beautiful tomorrow shining at the end of every day. There's a great big beautiful tomorrow, and tomorrow's just a dream away. Interesting. Man has a dream, that's the start. He follows the dream with mind and heart. When it becomes a reality, it's a dream come true for you and me. I mean, there's a great big beautiful tomorrow shining at the end of every day. There's a great big beautiful tomorrow, and it's just a dream away. I'd say that's a pretty flexible piece of songwriting. It's vague enough that it worked for a 1964 vision of the future built around Frigidaires and fallout shelter adjacent optimism, and it's vague enough that it still holds up. It still holds up 60 years later without touching a word. Try doing that with a song about a specific invention. It ages it out immediately. This one keeps being true. And that flexibility is also, I'd argue, the whole reason this song has outlived every era of the ride that it's attached to. The decades change. The jokes about voice-activated virtual reality vision goggles, they get aged pretty quickly and they become cheesy. But the song and the lyrics, they're future-proof. It's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow opened at the 1964 World's Fair, and the song's own path from there to now is quite the story in itself. It rode along to Disneyland in 1967 unchanged. Then the mid-70s, when the ride moved to Walt Disney World, it got benched in favor of The Best Time of Your Life for nearly 20 years. Then in 1994, it comes roaring back as the theme song, right where it started. But guess what? The Carousel of Progress has closed again this year for its biggest overhaul ever, and expected to come back next year, but with all signs pointing to this song surviving for this change too.
The Carousel of Progress Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow theme song will be within this attraction as the connected theme song between the scenes. So it's not going to be another one of those situations like they had in the 1970s when they switched out the song to Best Time of Your Life. Instead, this is going to keep the Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow theme song within the attraction.
So party people, are you team Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow, or did you grow up on the Best Time of Your Life and have feelings about that instead? Do you miss Rex Allen? What's your favorite era the family has ever lived through? If you enjoyed this Ride Song Deep Dive, this channel is Area Loop, and you can give me the old like and subscribe, because in every episode, I'll be looking at another attraction song and asking, in the next episode, we're going to be heading on down to the bayou and putting a band together. And until the next loop, remember, always check your oven temperature. 975 degrees is too hot. You'll burn your turkey. And that's an Area Loop safety tip.
As long as we're all here and happy and together for the holidays, who cares if I burned our Christmas turkey?
I do. I'm starving.
Do, 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 do. I can't even get a privacy at all around here.